Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run with a second-year man. It's Melvin Gordon. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Right side catch. This is Gates. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. Now Gordon on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So they ran against the 4-6 defense. Not only did they run against it, they tried to run it right up the gut.
And that's really not a great place to go when you're running against what is commonly known as the Bear defense, made popular by those great Chicago Bears teams. No place to go right in the middle of that.
This is caught at the 20. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, 2nd to last in the entire NFL. Rivers now on 2nd down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rivers now being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So now on 4th down, on comes Josh Lambo and the field goal unit for the Chargers. From the left hash, this from 34. And Lambo will put this one through, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I they've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 20. .26-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the D-line's going to spread out. Rivers on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And, Charles, here's the offensive lineup.
Melvin Gordon, the exciting young runner out of Wisconsin, well over 2,000 yards his last year with the Badgers. This is a guy who can catch it and run it.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
When I watch Brian Cushing play, sometimes I feel like he's playing in the wrong era. Brian Cushing wanted to be back there when the men were men and just mixing it up. This guy lives to find ball carriers.
Now Rivers finding time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
On 3rd down, Rivers gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. One receiver left. That's Allen. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 4th down.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there, if you like zone defense.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Good use of the pass there to pick up the 1st down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, this is going to sound a little strange, but that was a really nice effort because he broke a tackle and almost sprang free, but it still ended up with a loss of yardage. The defense won that battle.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll look to throw here. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. They'll look to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Miller, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 19 yards to pick up there.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. They'll set up a throw. He's got the completion to Strong. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the gun, Rivers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
3rd and long for Rivers. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. The rookie from Ohio State, Joey Bosa. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Shane Leckler now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. And this is a pretty good kick. Returning, it's Benjamin. First down, Rivers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. One receiver left, that's Allen. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Oliver that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. To throw is Rivers. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And now out comes Houston, and the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let him get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come out here in the I. They'll throw now on the final play. He's got time. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and that'll bring up second down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
On third down, Rivers. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he's brought down after a good game. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Phillip Rivers with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Rivers is going to throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down one does for me.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They come out here in the eye. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Cuts it out here, left sideline. Lamar Miller, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Rivers now on second down. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Gordon. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Throwing right, and that's complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Right side catch. This is Gates. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw is Rivers. Sets up the screen to Gordon. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Miller, the lone setback.
Here we go. Let's go. Green, 39. No. Check. Patriot.
Slot man moves right.
Be ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Deep drop. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll set up a throw, and it's incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Caught by Mumphrey. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
On the counter, it's Miller. And some room to work. Cutback, left sideline. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And now a first down following that long gain. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Setting up the screen from Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Here we go. Leopard.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Rivers now into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments did they... And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. They come out here in the eye. Looking to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And now it's fourth down. And that was incomplete, but... I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
That'll be taken in the end zone. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Now, last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT. Flushed out right. It's complete right side to Benjamin. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Following the flag, 1st and 20 now. So the D-line's going to spread out. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. They find some open field here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Single receiver, single receiver. Hey, you're in an island over there. Single receiver. Ready, 380.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
One receiver left, that's Allen. On 3rd down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now the first carry for Brandon Oliver. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's Rivers. Time for a break. And now another one thrown incomplete. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. And now out comes Houston. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They begin with a run by Miller. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Here we go now.
They'll run it again with Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 1st and 10, Rivers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Rivers again. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing, Rivers. That's caught at the 2. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense looks to punch it in here from the fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And that will write a finish to this ball game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams